For GST, I'll explain. It may take 1 hour. I'll complete that. Then what are the other chapters? Only these two. Probability you can revise, right? You will remember all the concept probability. Just go through, students. Yeah. Before your school starts, Monday starts, Saturday, Sunday. Go through probability. Other chapter. Banking is easy. Banking, probability. Mean chapter. And Adya, go through the recording of the day before yesterday. Mean I had completed. Do you remember assume mean method? Yeah, I have uploaded. If not, just ask once. Ask Ivania to explain in class. You'll understand. It's the same like last year. Whoever was absent, ask your friend students. It would hardly take 10-15 minutes. Ask them to explain in the class. If you still don't understand, I'll teach next week. Okay, probability of go through that. Now mean median. Sorry, not mean median. GST, goods and service tax. See, tax I told you all, tax is the extra amount we pay. Goods and service. What do you mean by goods? Yesterday I told you all, goods and service. What is goods, students? Tax you're going to pay to the government. In tax, we have lot of. See, I want you all to answer. We have already done this chapter. So let's study practically. Theoretically, I've explained everything. So tax is the extra amount we pay the government. How many types of governments are there? One is central government, right? Central and state government. Central and state government. Government, it comes under two. So India is a large, it's a very large country. Lot of, huge population. So it is split into different types of states. And each state is governed by a chief minister, state chief minister. Central is prime minister. So goods and service. When it comes to goods and service, whether central or state, this formula is the same. Concept is same. So goods is nothing but physical item. Services which you cannot touch. It is untangible. You call it untangible. You can't touch it. Those are known as services. Even yesterday I explained the concept. Teaching is a service. Okay, teaching, doctor. So some work, somebody helps you with some work which is not physical. That is teaching, doctor, police. No product is involved, students. No product. Physically, nothing is involved. That is known as service and goods. So whatever you do, any job you do in India, we have to pay GST tax. Whether it is service, you start a business. Okay, you start a business product. So what do you mean by income tax? What is the difference? We'll see how many of you will know all these topics. If you don't know, understand. Get to know all this. What is the difference, students? GST and income tax. What do you mean by income tax? Yes, you all don't know what is income tax? No? See, tax. Tax is okay. Tax is the extra amount paid to government, whether it is income tax or GST. When it comes to income, students, income tax, you work under some company. Okay, you're not the owner. You work under some company. You work for someone else. They pay you. Okay, they pay you. So whatever you get paid, some part goes to the government. That you call income tax. But when it comes to goods and service tax, you're the business owner. You do a business. Okay, you do a business. Even teaching is a business. Now, I'm not getting paid through someone else, through the higher authority. I'm getting paid. Your parents pay for the service which I'm providing. For the service which I'm providing, I get paid. So even this comes under business. Anything that comes under business is related to goods and service tax. Apart from business, if you work in some office, IT sector, manufacturing, anything, any company, Then you pay income tax. By the end of the day, you have to pay tax. Okay, every month on your monthly income, you pay tax. This is the difference. So income tax is private. When you work under someone, you pay income tax. Even police. See, police also comes under income tax. He has to pay income tax because he is working. Government is paying him. Police is not running a business. Police. Doctor can be two types. Okay, doctors can be two types. One is they work for the government or some hospital. Some hospital will pay. Have you seen doctors working in clinic near your house? Yeah, that is their own, yeah, own medical or clinic. Call it even that is the kind of, they'll have all the equipment. For certain limit, they can treat the patient. That is when doctor does business. It comes under business. So you should know where GST is applied. What is the difference? Where GST is applied? Calculation is easy, student. Calculation we've already done. It's very easy. You have to add, subtract. That is easy. If you know this practically, it will be interesting. It will be interesting when you're solving the questions. So, a doctor when he's running, when he's teaching, when he starts a business, when he opens his own clinic, we call it as business. Then the doctor puts GST. Same goes with teaching. If I work in some school, who will pay me? The parents will pay, or the school management. Who, the management will pay, right? Yeah, school management. We call it as management. They manage the school. They'll have separate set of office staffs. Principal, school staff, those who are working there, everyone will get paid under school management. So somebody is paying me. Okay, I'm not getting direct money from parents. Somebody is paying. Then I don't need to pay GST. I have to pay income tax. When the management pays me, I have to pay income tax. I'll get a salary slip, pay slip you call it, in that income tax. This income tax, okay, when you are working under someone, this income tax will directly go to central. Remember this. We don't pay to state. Our income tax is directly going to central. That is why people always question Modi. Okay, anything wrong, even if one small mistake happens in our area, some road is not proper, what do they question? They start talking about Modi, right? Yeah. So you should know the difference, state or Modi. We don't have awareness. Some yeah, citizens, we don't have awareness. Even if there is some problem in the road, they'll start questioning the central government. One minute. Okay, if the bus facility is nothing happens, and obviously people will shout at central government. The reason is they tell we pay tax, income tax, income tax to run the government. To run the nation, government needs some money. That is income tax or GST. So this is the difference. Now, did you all understand the difference between GST and income tax? Only when you do business on your own. Yes, tell me. Yeah, even politicians should show account. Okay, politicians, some will get paid through assembly when they have an organization. Tanika. Even politicians also should show tax. Even Modi also is paying. Modi is getting salary from government, right? I think 1.5 lakhs, 1 lakh, 1.5 lakhs or something. President, yeah, PM, everyone will get tax. Okay, even CM also is getting paid. Their salary is less in the sense around 1 or 2 lakhs. But you know how wealthy they are, right? From where do they get all this money? From where, Tanishka? Huh? Yes. All those are corrupted money. I call it as black money. There's no account, student. There's no account. That is what you call power. It comes under law. Interesting chapter syllabus law. They have the power. They can loot money. They can loot like anything. Who? Part of government is different. See, government has to each and every citizen have to pay tax. See, for how many years? For how many years will be politician will be a part of government, Tanishka? 5 years, 10 years, that's it. Yeah, government is one organization. Okay, body is a body with few members. Only for few years there'll be whether you be a government member, employee, or private. You have to pay. Okay, so yeah, that is different. You have a lot of tax students in GST is goods and services. Then I told about income tax, which everyone has to pay. If you started earning, everyone has to pay. You show account to the government from where you get money. Then a lot of tax here. Then there are property tax and other things. When you purchase a property, even for that you have to pay tax. When you purchase a property, so everything you have to pay tax. The only thing you should know to whom you're going to pay. So GST you have to pay to central and state for both. This is important. It's not important to learn all the tax system that you learn in 11th or 12th when you take commerce. For now, only if GST is, if you know about GST, that is enough, and you should know to whom this tax goes, central and state, both. Sometimes only central, and that is where this words comes into picture: interstate, intrastate, interstate, intrastate. So, as students, if you know the difference between these two, that is enough. GST and income tax. That is why I explained it. There are almost some 5 to 6 taxes, other taxes. You don't have to know all that. So income tax, if you're working under some company and you're getting salary, you're directly paying it to whom? State or central? Income tax goes directly to central government. Yes, remember this. It directly goes to central. It's nothing to do with state. But when some business is being done, when you run a business of your own, you give product and service, then that tax is being split into central and state. Tax is nothing but for development students, for development of park, road, flyovers, infrastructure. Okay, in the service and goods. Now, based on this, they give a term called interstate and intrastate. Interstate, intrastate. Interstate and intrastate. What do you mean by inter and intrastate? Tell me the difference. Only if you know this, related to this, I can teach the other topic. What is interstate? TER. Between? No, no, no. Inter is between two states. Inter, TER. And intra, TER is state, state. State. I gave you all an example to remember this, right? Same state and different state, different state. Okay, these are the two ways, students. It is split into interstate and intrastate. So, what do you mean by intrastate? Now, tell me what is intrastate? The transaction, yeah, the transaction happens within the same state. Okay, within same state, same state. Whether it is same state or intrastate, central government will take some money. Now, if it is same state, for example, Bangalore, from Bangalore to which Mysore. So from Bangalore, you're sending a product, students. You're sending a product that is worth 1,000. You're sending it to Mysore. And the GST or SGST, the tax added is 10%. How much is 10% of 1,000? How do you calculate 10%? 10 divided by 100 into 1,000. What's the value? What's the value? 100, you get 100, right? So when you're sending something from Bangalore to Mysore, you're sending a goods. From let us take mobile. When you're sending a mobile from Bangalore to Mysore, the amount you're paying is 100. This is tax. So this comes under GST. This GST, what happens is, if it's within the same state, who's the CM or Karnataka CM will take 50%. So this 100 will get split into two parts. What are the two parts? CGST and SGST. So what our Karnataka CM will do is, Chief Minister, our government, Karnataka government will do, it will take 50 rupees tax. It will take 50, and how much will it give to central? How much will it give to central? 50. Yeah. So central, Modi government will say, whatever 100 you got tax, you keep 50 with you and give 50 to me. So there is no clash. Okay, it is sorted out. Same state. Now here the twist is, if it is different state, what happens if it is different state? What do you mean by interstate? From Bangalore, Karnataka, to which place shall we transport? Let us take Chennai. Chennai is in which state? Chennai is in which state? Tamil Nadu, right? TN. Bangalore is in Karnataka. KA. Okay, Chennai and Bangalore both are different states. So same concept, same mobile concept. 100 is the tax. Now, what do you think? CM and these two CM will tell. They will fight for this cash, right? Who will get more? They will definitely fight both the states. That is what happens, right? Even you take water problem or anything, there will always be dispute between two states. This happens. Misunderstanding will always be there between two states, any two states. Not only Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, even Karnataka, Andhra, or take Maharashtra, any state, there will be some dispute. For this 100, they'll fight. Bangalore will say, I'll take 60. Karnataka. Tamil Nadu will, and it will tell, I'll take 60 rupees and I'll give you 40. Will Tamil Nadu agree? You think will the other state CM will agree? No, right? One minute. Okay, the other state government won't agree. So if then Tamil Nadu would say, I will take 80 rupees and I'll give you 20. For that, even Karnataka also won't agree, right? So whenever there is intra-state, because of this clash, what the central government will do? Look, what the central will do, it will tell you all don't have to fight over the GST thing. You all don't have to fight over GST. Whenever it is intra-state, whatever you get, you give it to central. What do you call that as? You call it as IGST. What is IGST? Integrated Goods and Service Tax. So the central will tell you don't have to fight over those things. You give that entire 100 to me, I'll take care of that. That is known as IGST. So whenever there is intrastate students, whenever there is intrastate, to whom does the tax go? For intrastate, for whom does the tax go? It goes to the central. Okay, state is not involved. And I've told you how to remember that. Whenever it's intrastate, two different states will be there. Two different states. And they will fight for that. Because of this fight, what the central would say, you all don't have to split that. The central will take, and central will give it to the state. That is different concept. Don't need to go much detail into that. That is different. This is how you'll have to understand the concept. When it's intrastate, same state, no problem. There is only one state involved, intrastate. So there is mutual understanding. The government will take 50%, state will take 50%. But when it comes to intrastate, it is always a problem. There's always fight, dispute going on. So that directly the central will take. You don't have to fight. You give it to me. I will divide it later. And again, that is a different concept. Did you understand the difference now? Interstate and intrastate? Is it clear, all of you all? Or do you have any doubts? Oh, I was on mute, students. Why didn't you all tell me? I've explained so many things. Huh? Okay, what is intrastate? I was on mute. I'm explaining. What is intrastate? Interstate? What do you mean by interstate? For how many states? I was. That's what I was thinking. Why you explained? Okay, let me take Karnataka and Tamil Nadu. Interstate. What happens here if GST is rupees 100? They'll have a claim, right? So whom does this GST go? If it is interstate transaction, this GST will directly go to central government, Modi's government. So they've named this term as IGST. It's the same. IGST is the total amount of GST. So 100. Just because it is going to central, we call it as IGST. This is the difference. So you should remember both. Interstate is simple. There is no in interstate only intrastate. Sorry, in intrastate only one state is the transaction happens. So there is no clash. Okay. And one more thing. Which government is powerful? The state government or the central government? Which government is powerful? Central government is always powerful. Have you all seen news or even on social media? Anytime have you heard about our CM Siddaramaya or Yediyurappa? The names won't often come on media, right? But what about Modi students? What about Modi or Rahul Gandhi? You can always see the names on social media. Yeah, you can always see their names on social media. Central is very powerful. Okay, central is very powerful. State and central. So therefore, the state government cannot fight with central government. That's the reason there is a mutual understanding. Whenever it is intrastate, both will take 50%. State cannot fight; they'll definitely lose. So both will take 50%. You should remember like this: the actual concept may be different, but I teach you all. You should remember like this: there is mutual understanding, so 50-50%. You'll never forget this concept. If you remember like this, you'll never forget. Next, when it comes to interstate, two different states, there'll always be clash. Okay, so they'll fight. One government will say, I'll take more, the other government will not agree. So that will directly go to central. It will directly go to central. Now tell me, I'll ask you one question. In interstate, is there GST as GST? In interstate? In interstate, is there GST and CGST as GST? Do you split the money? No, we don't split the money. Remember, interstate, two different government, always a clash. So what the government says, you don't have to split anything. You give it to me. I'll take care of it. GST. That's the reason in question. Whenever interstate is mentioned, they'll tell CGST, SGST is ignored. There is no calculation part. Only IGST. If you know this topic, other things are very easy. Just addition, subtraction, and whatever you learned in your 6th, 7th, percentage calculation, fraction, only those things. This is main. Just because all this topic is involved, we call it as commercial mathematics. It is not like a normal maths, addition, subtraction. You should know these details first. Only if you know this, you can calculate. Naomi, did you understand? Mariana, Mariam, Adia, Lemula. So you can ignore everything, students. Just remember those three: interstate, intrastate. If it is same state, no problem. 50-50%. Different state, there'll be clash. Okay. And logically, that sounds true. The reason is whenever it is interstate or different state is involved. Okay. And one more thing, you can even remember like this: for interstate, what's the difference between interstate and intrastate? Which two letters are different? For interstate it is ER. For intrastate, RA. So how will you write this? Same and different. In different, can ER is given? Two differences. This is how these are some small students. You don't get confused. Sometimes even I get confused. I remember like this. ER is given. Interstate. ER. ER is different state. Intra means same. Okay. When it comes to interstate, for example, this same example, Karnataka and Tamil Nadu, mobile is being transported. How does it get transported? How does it get transported? Through bus, lorry, right? Through bus, lorry, or something like that. Okay, let us take some transportation by road. So there, the Karnataka would say, just because you traveled on our road, you have to pay taxes. And this product will go to Tamil Nadu. It will reach to Tamil Nadu. And even Tamil Nadu will find, it says you traveled on our road. This product has come through our road, this mobile phone. Or even aeroplane is also same concept. Railways, even through train it is same. At the end of the day, you come into our boundary, you have to pay GST. There is always a clash. So in order to minimize this, the government, this entire interstate will go to the government in the name of IGST. Okay. So next time when you see bill, any bill, whether you go to some shopping mart or your parents purchase anything, just go through the bill. Go through the bill, you'll find these words: IGST, SGST, CGST. Okay. Now I'll ask you the reverse question. In a bill, students, in a bill, IGST is equals to rupees 100 is given. If IGST is 100, what kind of transaction is this? Interstate or intrastate? Interstate. Let's just assume your parents, your mom has bought some saree or dad something, some goods. In that example, saree or something, you just go through the bill, some dress. IGST is given as rupees 100. So will it be interstate or intrastate? If IGST is mentioned, it should be interstate from different state. What do you mean by that? What do you mean by different state? From where is that dress material come from? From where did your parents bought it in Bangalore? Okay, parents bought it in Bangalore. But from where does that product come from? From the same state or does that come from the different state? It would have definitely come from different state. By looking at the bill, you can easily figure out it is IGST. Next time you'll check, you'll just go through the bill, you'll get an idea. It means the product is come from different state. In order to avoid the clash, this IGST 100 will go to the government. The government will split. But we are the one who pays tax. Okay, we have paid IGST rupees 100 because the product is with us. Ultimately, the product, the one who uses the product should pay the amount. Okay, in the same bill, if CGST is split, if they mention CGST, SGST, 50 and 50. What do you mean by this? Is it interstate or intrastate transaction? It will be intrastate. So what's the total amount you have paid? What's the total GST you have paid? 50 plus 50? We have paid rupees 100. So go through the bill, you will get this idea. GST, CGST, SGST. Which means whatever clothes, saree or whatever they have bought, it is from the same state. Same state. Somebody would have done it in Mysore. Okay. Would have cut all the clothes, material, everything, would have done it in Mysore and they have sent it to Bangalore. And we have bought the goods. So everything happens within the state. So this concept is very important. You should know both when interest rate is given how to calculate or when CGST, SGST is given. Fine. Next is percentage. From this, you should know how to calculate percentage question. Okay. Now, I say CGST is equals to 30%. And the cost price of the product is CGST is 30%. And let me see, the selling price is equals to 1000. What is the word mentioned here, students? What type of tax is mentioned? Total, we have three types: IGST, CGST, SGST. All these three types comes under one, that is GST. It's the same. Only thing they have split into these three types, and I've told you why they have split. In order to avoid dispute, they have split like this. Okay, now tell me the answer for this. GST is mentioned, then what kind of question is this? Interstate or intrastate? If GST is mentioned, CGST, sorry. If CGST is mentioned, what kind of question is this? Interstate or intrastate? All of you will unmute and answer. If CGST is mentioned, intrastate, right? So 30% is given, intrastate. If CGST is mentioned, what is the other thing which comes along with CGST? SGST, right? If CGST is 30%, what is the value of SGST? Same 30%, same 30%. So what you have to do is calculate the value, students. How much is 30% of 1000? How do you calculate? 30 divided by 100 into 1000. What's the answer? 300. So 300. If CGST is 300, what would be the value of SGST? Same 300. Both are 300, right? Both are 300. Okay. On the whole, what's the tax you have paid? What's the total GST you have paid? 300 or 600? How much have you paid? You have paid 600. This is the concept you have to know. In question, they'll just give you GST, CGST. So don't memorize anything. I've seen students doing the question, but they won't even know what does this stand for. Why do you calculate CGST? Shouldn't be like that. You should know what is interest rate. So on the whole, for a selling price of 1000, the tax is 600. 600 is what you're paying. When it comes to percentage, what's the total percentage of G you're paying? 30% or 60%? What's the total, students? You're going to pay 60% GST. Okay, 60% GST. You can calculate 60 divided by 100 into 1000. Two zeros you can cancel, you get 600. You should know this calculation. When percentage is given, CGST, this is the formula. GST or CGST is numerator divided by denominator into selling price. This concept. Now imagine they didn't give us this 30%. Take down this formula. What's the formula for SGST? Anything. CGST, SGST, GST, or IGST is given. IGST. For all this, there is only one formula, students. What is the formula we have? Numerator by denominator into. Tell me the value. Numerator by denominator into what? Into selling price. What is this numerator and denominator? That is nothing but the percentage given. How do you calculate this, students? 30 divided by what is denominator? 100. For example, they'll give IGST. They'll mention IGST as 30%. So what is IGST? Is it interstate or intrastate? IGST. IGST is for which one? Different state, right? IGST is for different. So interstate. So IGST is also known or GST. It's the same, 30%. We don't split it. Both are same. How do you calculate this IGST? IGST amount is equals to numerator by denominator into selling price. Let us take 1000 selling price. Numerator is 30 divided by 100 into 1000. So IGST is 300. Like this you have to calculate. Now same question. Imagine they didn't give you all GST rate, percentage. They didn't give percentage. Instead of that, they have given rate. Use the same formula. Use the same formula. How do you calculate? Okay, let me write CGST is equals to numerator by denominator into 100. Percentage is not given, students. Percentage is not given. So in place of numerator, I'll take it as x, x percent. X. Now what is CGST given? What's the value given for CGST? What is CGST value? Unmute and answer all of you all. Did you all understand this? Whatever I've taught so far, is it clear? Calculation. Okay, CGST, I've written 300, students. Where should I write this 300? In place of X or GST value? CGST value. In place of CGST, I have to write 300. X remains as it is. Denominator is nothing but, no, keep given. See, numerator by denominator is not given. Let us take that as X. Same formula. But numerator and denominator is not given. The reason is percentage. Only if percentage is given, you can take numerator and denominator. If it's not given, take it as X into 100. What is the value of X? What happens to this 100? 100 gets, let me take, yeah, let me take 1000, selling price, 1000. Made a mistake. Wait, numerator by denominator, correct. Okay, numerator value, take it as X. Denominator, see, numerator and denominator is nothing but some percentage value, right? Let me take it as X percent. It is not mentioned whether it is 30 or 40. We'll start from here. Concentrate X percent. So how do you convert this? What is the value of CGST given? CGST is 300. X percent. How do you write this X percent? X divided by 100 into 1000. I want to find X. What happens to this 100? 100 goes to numerator and this 1000 gets divided. What's the value of X? Now reduce 3 zeros cancel. How much is left? X is equal to 30%. This is how you convert into percentage. The formula is the same. Let's go through this once. Is it clear? Did you all understand how to calculate? Fine. I'll give you all a question. This is for MCQ students. You might get even in regular question, especially in MCQ. They'll ask you like this. They'll give it as CGST is equals to rupees 400 and selling price is equal to 1000. Or let me take 10,000. Selling price is 10,000, GST is 400. Calculate GST percentage. The question is calculate GST percentage of GST. Calculate the percentage of GST. This is the question. How will you all calculate this, students? Don't try it. First tell me the steps. How will you all try this? CGST is given. All of you all should try this. Let me know. Can you unmute and reply? Joanna, Maria. So if CGST is given, is it GST or half of GST? What is CGST? Half of GST. So what will be the full value of GST? If CGST is 400, full value of GST will be, how come 200? 400 into 2, GST will be 800. What calculation will I perform? Only if GST is 800, CGST will be 400, right? No, like this. If you're getting confused, if CGST is 400, what about SGST students? What about SGST? SGST also will be 400. Both put together, what you call one common term? We call it as GST. So what is this? 400 plus 400? 800. What is the formula to fuel? We don't need GST rupees. They didn't ask us to find rupees. They've asked us to find percentage. So there's only one formula. What is that? GST is equals to numerator divided by denominator. Here have the given percentage value or rupees value is given? Rupees value. So do we know, we don't know percentage, right? It as X percent into 100. X percent as 100 if rupees is given. So how do you calculate GST? In place of GST, what you have to substitute? 800. How do you write this X percent? X percent should be written as X divided by into not 100 into selling price. I made a mistake here. GST, this is the formula. X percent into selling price. What is selling price? What is selling price, students? 10,000. So what's the answer? How do you find X? 800. This 100 will get multiplied divided by 10,000. Two zeros top and two zeros down. What is the percentage? GST is equals to 8%. Is this clear? Did you understand this calculation? 8%. There is even direct way. First is the actual concept. This is the actual steps. Fine. After this, I'll give break. The data will continue. 8%. Now let us cross check. 8% is given. How do you calculate when GST 8%? When percentage is given, how do you calculate, students? In place of X%, what should I write? In place of X%, I should write 8% multiplied by, what is the formula? Selling price. The same formula. It's the same formula. So GST is equals to 8%. How do you convert this 8%? 8 divided into 100 into 10,000. What's the answer? 8 into 100 is 800. Are you getting back the answer? 800. So use only one formula, students. GST is equals to X% into selling price. Whether it is GST, SGST, anything. If they tell you to calculate IGST here in place of GST, IGST and GST both are same, so don't confuse. The same calculation has to be performed. Double CGST and SGST, 400 plus 400, 800, 8%. The only thing, wherever GST is given, just write I next to that. I, I. Look here. It becomes IGST, like this, IGST. This is one way. Or better don't mention IGST. Calculate of the GST percent answer and you write it. Just calculate GST. You'll get it as some value. Right. IGST is equals to GST. Therefore, that is 8%. Okay, this calculation. The last calculation is between two people, three people, calculate interaction, whether it is between one, two, three, or four. Manufacturer, dealer, consumer. That is the last topic left. After break, I'll teach that. Then questions. Every day we'll revise 3 or 4 questions. In another 1 week, you'll get used to this. Fine. Take break. We'll continue at 1:30. Fine. Take 10 minutes break. We'll continue at 1:40 students. Okay, students, shall we continue? All the students online. Okay. Lemula, Tanishka, Naomi, Mariam, fine. Ivania, Joanna, Adia, and Mariana. Adia, Mariana, unmute. Yes. Okay. Mariana, unmute the call. Are you there? Fine. Fine. We'll continue with the next part. See, till now I've explained all the concepts. In that, only two things are important: interest rate, interest rate, GST, CGST. Next one is, now we studied about the tax students, the tax, types of tax and to whom it goes. The next concept is who's going to pay the tax. Even that matters. Who's going to pay it? So you'll have manufacturer. Even this is important. Manufacturer is main. Then you'll have dealer. Manufacturer, wholesaler, wholesaler, dealer. Then the final comes to consumer or customer. Consumer, also known as customer. Even all this you all should know. It is a part of mathematics, but you should. It is not a part of maths. It's totally different. But you should know the transaction: manufacturer, wholesaler, dealer, and consumer. Okay, what do you mean by manufacturer, students? What do you mean by the word manufacturer? Manufacture. What is manufacture? They make a product. Let's take one product. Let us take mobile phone. What are the components required for mobile phone? Can you tell me the parts required? Just whatever parts you will feel, you all can see. Display is required. Okay, instead of this, to make it simple, let me take a car. Observe a car and tell me if someone has to manufacture a car, what are the parts involved? Can you tell me the parts? Engine is required, right? Engine. Next, wheel, engine, wheel, and body. Body is the outer part of the car. In order to make engine, wheel, engine is made of metal, wheel, body. All these three things you need raw materials. That is what you call raw material. For example, to make rice, what do you need? To make rice or to make biryani, what is required, students? Tell me what are the products required? You need rice, raw rice. Then raw rice, what else you need? What else we need? You need chicken or mutton, any meat, and you need vegetables and some water, right? Vegetables, water, all this you mix, and some preparation goes on. With the help of heat, we prepare biryani. The same goes with manufacturer. Manufacturer also does the same thing, work. That's the meaning. Manufacturer is creating new thing, a product. So if you don't understand, I'll give it. I'll explain. In short, just assume biryani or any other item, Maggi, whatever it is. All these are known as raw material. We need some raw materials. These are raw material. In the same way, when you manufacture a car is the original. I mean, the final product. Car is the final product. Before that, you need lot of parts like this: engine, wheel, body, all this thing. This is what manufacturer does. So he's the topmost. This is the order you have to remember. Manufacturer is the topmost. Next, wholesaler. Wholesaler is nothing but he owns a place, student. He owns a place, a very large place. We call storehouse. Wholesaler will have very large place, storehouse or a warehouse. We call warehouse or store, warehouse. He'll have a very large shop and assume cars are there. What he'll do is wholesaler, cars or mobile. He'll buy it in large quantity. We call it as bulk, large quantities. For example, a wholesaler will have around hundreds of cars with him. From there, it will go to dealer. Dealer will not have hundreds of cars with him. Remember, first is manufacturer, that is a factory. A manufacturer will have a factory, all the machineries, he'll prepare everything, he'll give it to the wholesaler. Wholesaler will have like 100 cars. Then it comes to the dealer. Dealer is the third person. He won't have 100 cars, he'll just have 10 or 20 cars. I will see in a bike showroom or a car showroom, bike or car showroom, or at least a mobile showroom. Do you think they'll have 200, 300 mobile phones? 200, 300 cars? No, right? Yeah, you just see from outside, students. When you just pass by, you just observe a car showroom or a bike showroom. They'll hardly have 10 cars or 15. Hardly have 15 to 20 bikes. They are known as dealers. Okay, they are known as dealers. And at last, it will come to consumer. What do? We don't buy all those 10 cars. Maximum we can buy is two cars or one car, two bikes. If you are wealthy enough, you can afford three cars, four bikes. It depends. Okay, consumer. Now, the other thing is the one who has rights to sell a thing, the one who has the right. Manufacturer has the right to sell. He can sell it. Okay, he has the right to sell it. So he can collect GST. Manufacturer can collect GST. Okay, he has a license because he owns a shop. And all this comes under what? Does it come under like normal job or is it a business? What are they doing exactly doing? Isn't it a business? The buying and selling it, right? So this comes under business. When it comes under business, they have to pay GST. Okay. So wholesaler also can collect money from the consumer or dealer. He can pay GST, collect GST. Dealer also can collect GST. But a consumer cannot sell it. Right? He cannot buy a new bike and sell it for the same price. You can sell it in used like OLX or something. You can sell it in that. Can't collect GST for all those things. So these are the three people who can collect GST. Make a note of this: manufacturer, wholesaler, dealer. I've told you all the difference. What is manufacturer? Who is a wholesaler? Who is a dealer? All three people can collect tax, and consumer cannot collect tax. Consumer can only pay tax. Okay, consumer can only pay tax. Right. Now I'll tell you the difference. Difference in price. Did you understand the difference between manufacturer, wholesaler, and dealer? Consumer, is it clear? All of you understood. Now look here, students. Consumer, as a consumer, as a manufacturer, this shop can be very far. Manufacturer factories. That's why observation is very important. Which one do you find near your house or when you pass by? Do you see an automobile showroom or a factory in Bangalore? Which one do you often see? Do you see any factory here? Have you seen any factory where they manufacture? It doesn't usually lie in the city, students. They keep it outskirts. Okay, outskirts. We only see showrooms here. So just assume the price of a car is, just assume it is 5 lakhs. Manufacturer, 5 lakhs. When it comes to wholesaler, they'll increase the price. They'll keep it as 6 lakhs. When it comes to dealer, what the dealer does is he'll raise the price and keep each car for 7 lakhs. Okay, he'll keep it for 7 lakhs. The reason is wholesaler, as I told you, he has to arrange a place. Wholesaler has to arrange a place to accommodate all the cars. So he's going to charge 1 lakh extra. In the same way, dealer, the showroom which you see near your house on the roads, you see, right? So those showroom, even they will buy some place. They have to pay rent. You have to obviously pay rent. And what he does is 7 lakhs. He'll quote another 1 lakh extra. So GST is calculated based on this price, 6 lakhs plus GST. 7 lakhs plus GST. This is how it runs. So ultimately, you can buy from a consumer. Consumer can buy from a dealer for 7 lakhs. Okay, if not, have you heard people say that they go to Osur to buy crackers? Have you all been to Osur to buy crackers? Or any, have you heard that? When people say that they have been to Osur to buy crackers? Yeah, so cracker, Osur is a wholesale place. Osur. It's in the border of Tamil Nadu and Karnataka. Osur. That is a wholesale place. There you'll get it for less. See, you'll understand here. Instead of car and mobile, if I take crackers, you'll understand. All this is a very interesting topic, but the only thing is you won't have time, students. Already you'll have lot of subjects, lot of classes to attend. See here, if I take crackers, this is how the actual market works. Somebody will manufacture. Actually, there is a manufacturer in this one, I think. Tamil Nadu, Madurai. There's a city called Madurai. There they manufacture crackers. From there, it will go to Osur wholesale price. If a cracker is rupees, just assume 1,000 wala is rupees 1,000. By the time it goes to Osur, they'll make it as 1,100. By the time it comes to Bangalore, in Bangalore you will see local shops selling crackers. They'll quote it as 1,500. Okay, why is this increase in price? Can you tell me why is this increase in price? Why is there increase? Think and tell. Why is there increase? Because they have to rent a shop, right? They have to rent a shop. They have to transport the goods. Transport. So for transportation, there is separate charge. All these things. 1,000. So any consumer, if you want to burst crackers, if you buy in Bangalore, it will cost 1,500. Okay. If you want it less price, go to Osur. In Osur, you'll get it for very less, 1,000 rupees, 1,100. If you directly go to manufacturer, that is, I told Madurai there is a place where manufacture cracker, you'll get it for 1,000. Fine, you'll get it for 1,000. The only thing is you have to spend fuel charge. If you have a car or bike, you fuel, you can buy lot of crackers for less amount. This is where GST is applied, and that is why they're given so many names: manufacturer, wholesaler, dealer, consumer. Okay, by the time consumer gets the goods, we pay a lot of GST. That is one big headache. For each and every product, we pay GST. Fine. This is one topic: manufacturer, dealer, and consumer. After that, there is input GST, output GST. Fine. Input GST, output GST. Now, whatever you pay, goes from your pocket. Some money is gone outside, right? What you call that as? output GST. Whatever you pay from your pocket, right? That is known as output GST. Whatever you collect, what do you call that? Whatever you collect, what do you call? Input GST. So next time when you're purchasing something, not in small amount, if you're purchasing in large amount. See, even for marriages, just for example, marriage or wedding, they won't go to normal shop, they'll go to wholesale. You ask your parents or anyone who purchase, they'll go to wholesale dealers. They will get for very cheap price. Okay, this is how it runs. Instead of paying huge amount here, you can directly go to the manufacturer place. Okay, payment is output GST, input GST. Now tell me, manufacturer, what does manufacturer do, students? He is the main part. Manufacturer plays the main role. Will he collect GST or will he pay GST? Do you think manufacturer is buying from someone? Is manufacturer buying from someone? Unmute and answer. Is he preparing his own material or is buying from someone? Product. He is preparing his own product, right? Is manufacturing his own product. So he's only collecting. So manufacturer will collect from GST from whom? He can collect it from wholesaler. Okay, what does wholesaler do, students? From whom does the wholesaler buy the goods? From whom is the wholesaler buying the goods? From whom is he buying? From manufacturer. So when he buys it from manufacturer, what happens when he buys it from manufacturer? He is going to pay GST, right? So manufacturer can only collect. He is not going to pay. Wholesaler will collect and he can pay GST. He has to pay as well as collect. See, he has to pay and collect. So whatever he pays is known as output. So from whom is the wholesaler collecting GST? Who is the next wholesaler? Is the dealer. Input. So whatever, for example, wholesaler is collecting, think 100. Wholesaler is collecting, that becomes input GST for wholesaler. This 100 is being paid by the dealer. So from dealer, the money goes outside. So for dealer, this becomes output GST. Output GST. The same 100 becomes input GST for wholesaler. You should know the difference. Input GST for wholesaler. Okay. The same goes with dealer, students. Even dealer can pay and collect. Right? Dealer can also pay and collect. Yeah. So right, make a note of this. Manufacturer, wholesaler, dealer, consumer. In that, manufacturer can only collect. Wholesaler has to pay manufacturer and collect from dealer. Dealer also can pay. Dealer has to pay to manufacturer and can collect from consumer. Okay, what does consumer do? Do you think consumer will collect tax from someone else? Is consumer collecting tax? Is there any person a consumer? No, there no left, no one left. Consumer is the final one. So consumer will never collect from anyone. He just pay tax to the dealer. As I told you all, consumer pays tax. He can directly pay to dealer and purchase. He can directly pay to dealer. He can go to factory wholesale. As I told you, crackers example. Osur. He can go to Osur. Or the consumer can directly go to Madurai, Tamil Nadu, and he can buy it. He can only pay tax. So these are the three different ways. In textbook, they won't explain all this. They'll directly give you questions. As a teacher, I have to explain. You should know all these concepts. But questions, you see, there are a lot of questions. They can ask you from dealer's point of view, wholesaler, manufacturer. And dealer is also known as retailer. Remember this word, dealer and retailer both are same. You would have heard this word, dealer, wholesaler and dealer, retailer. These both are same. Retailer, dealer. Okay, that's it. Entire this GST, how it works, everything I've taught in terms of commerce side, I've taught you another thing. In terms of mathematics, we have to calculate. That's it. You should understand the concept here. Calculation has to be done on the other side. Any doubts here? So far, what I've explained, you'll understand all these things. Adya, Mariana, Mariam, yes, you can apply this student. So just don't study. See, we need marks. We obviously need marks to go to next place, other school, college, everything is fine. But these are some general knowledge, general things which you have to understand. Because you're paying GST, you should know what's a dealer, wholesaler, manufacturer. Okay. Another 5 minutes, then the class. Just look at the questions. We'll start solving from Monday. Saturday, tomorrow, don't eat Mariana. When does your school reopen? Monday? So no school, no class tomorrow. I've given holiday. I'll give holiday. Last weekend, right? Or do you want me to conduct class? Huh? What Mariana interested in these topics? What one day? From Monday we'll start. As soon as class gets over, you forget about all these things, right? Hmm. These things you don't have to revise. Once you concentrate, that is enough. Only mathematics things if you should. Okay, look at the first question, students. We'll do it on Monday, but just one question. A dealer X in Mayo UP. Tell me, is this interstate or intrastate? Same or different? Same state UP. If it is same state, is it ER or AR? ER stands for what? Interstate or intrastate? Okay, fine. See, sometimes they'll mention words like this: interstate, intrastate, same, different, or only the state name. I want you all to go back to the concept what I taught. If it is same state, they won't be fight. So what happens there? GST will get split into CGST and SGST. That's it. Don't have to remember other things. Same state, there is no fight. Equal split, 50-50%. If it is different state, there will be fight. It will go to IGST. That's it. Now, next calculation. A table is sold for selling price is equals to 12,000. To whom is it sold? It is sold for consumer. What is the GST given? What is the GST? 18%. Calculate the amount. What's the formula? GST is equals to 18% into selling price, 12,000. Yeah, tell me the students. We'll end the class. Be quick. So what is GST? 8 by 100 into 12,000. Two zeros get cancelled. What's the value? 2,000. 8 into 120. How much is 8 into 12? Tanishka. 8 12s are 96. Okay, 8 12s are 96. 960. Or did I take wrong value? 1,000 to 12,000. Okay, 12,000. That's it. This is what you'll have to know. What is the value given? Then, yeah, my value is wrong. See, you don't have to ask like that, Tanisha. You can directly tell that I have taken wrong value. Hmm? No, no, it's given as 18, right? You can directly tell me that I have written wrong. 18 is given. Okay. Why will I take 8 instead of 18? So if you take 18%, what's the answer? 18 into 12? Calculate this, students. Be quick. 18 into 12, 180. 180 plus 36. 216. 2160. If it is same state, what about this GST? Will it get split into two values? Right? So what is CGST value? CGST is equals to 9% or 2160 divided by 2. Is SGST is equals to 1080. Okay, if it is same state, do we need to pay IGST? Is IGST come into picture? So what will you write here? What will you write the answer for IGST? Check the answer in textbook. No transaction, nil. What is it mentioned? Nil or no transaction? I think nil, right? Can someone check the answer? What is it given, student? Nil? Okay, that's it. See, we have understood the concept. Looking at the question, where the goods is gone, it's within the state. We know what is CGST, IGST. We have already paid CGST, so IGST is not counted here. It is same state. Fine. I hope you all have understood. It took 1.5 hours to explain the entire thing. Okay. So from Monday when I start calculating, again don't ask silly questions. You should be able to solve. If not, I'll send this recording. I've recorded. Go through once again. It would take 1 hour. Yeah, not 1.5 hours, 1 hour. I think the entire whatever I explained was for 1 hour 10 minutes or something. Okay, I'll end the class.